What's up everyone, it's Doug here with Virtual Geek Gaming, here to bring you another video discussion. Thank you for joining me today, and let's get right into today's topic. Now, I don't really even know where this is going to go. It's kind of a rant, but maybe it's just me, and maybe it's just because I'm just an old gamer. I've been gaming for 30-something years now. I've been gaming for a very long time. I've seen a lot of trends happen. I've seen a lot of things come and go. And I really have seen the industry change, you know, and we really are in a resolution war at this point, which I think is just ridiculous. I mean, sure, I understand you want to make the most of your 4K TV, but if you happen to have a 1080 TV, it shouldn't matter. And when it comes to things like Microsoft, and them releasing the Xbox Scorpio, for an example, I really do think that we should just do two things. And this is where I think the video is probably going to get a little bit windy and stuff as I work through my thought process, because I thought about this yesterday and the day before and all this other stuff, and I don't really know where I'm going to take this, but I think we should either get to one of 2 points. We should either go ahead and just come out with another generation of consoles. I mean, after all, the Switch I'm considering to be a whole new generation. It's not the Wii U, it's not the 3DS, it's a new system, it's a new generation. It's not like they came out for Wii U Part 2. They came out with a new iteration. Which means that when the Xbox Scorpio comes out, I think that it should be a new generation. It just happens to be backwards compatible to all the Xbox One games. And the PlayStation 5 should come out and do the same thing. That way, that hardware is being put to good use, because there's something about the Xbox Scorpio that just kind of bothers me. It doesn't really seem like it should exist. You know what I'm saying? Not because I don't want it to not exist, but because you're not really taking advantage of the hardware, if you think about it. See, when the Switch comes out, it's taking advantage of the hardware. It's using physical cards. It's using a different medium, and it's not backwards compatible? Yeah, not backwards compatible to the Wii U and all that stuff. I mean, it has the potential digitally to do that down the road. As I've talked about in other videos, it could be backwards compatible digitally to Wii U, Wii, and all their games library going forward. And I think that would be really awesome if they did that. But with the Xbox Scorpio, when it comes out, you're going to be looking at something that is basically, as they say, 4 times more powerful than an Xbox One. Well, that sounds like a next generation system to me. Because when I was growing up, the newest generation was always at least 2 times more powerful. I mean, you literally went from 16 bits to 32 bits. You doubled it. From 8 to 16, from 16 to 32, from 32 to 34, to, 64. From 64 to 128. And now basically we don't even have bits anymore. Now it's all about RAM and GPU and processing and all that stuff. But now we've gotten into a new war. No longer about the bits. But now it's about the resolution. Who can do 4K? Who can do native 4K first? Who can come up with the most powerful gaming machine? Does it really matter? And this is probably the reason why I do this and I combat modern gaming thinking like I do. Is because we've gotten to this point now, at least some of the younger gamers, and I feel kind of sorry for them because they're growing up in an era where graphics matter. They're growing up in an era where innovation is kind of pushed out the door to just see how great we can get a game to look. And there's nothing wrong with a great looking game. I'm looking forward to Breath of the Wild on the Switch because it looks so good. But I also think that it's going to innovate from within. And that's the reason why I'm looking forward to the Switch more than I am the Scorpio. Because the Switch, I feel like, is going to innovate gaming more than the Scorpio will. It may be 4 times more powerful than Xbox One, but what's it really going to do with an Xbox One? It's still going to have voice chat, still going to play the same games. They just might run a little bit better. that's about it. Even now on a PlayStation 4 Pro, the games just run a little bit better and they look a little bit better. But for some games like Infamous, that maybe just a little bit more colorful, they run the same. They play the same. There's no additional content. There's nothing new there. So why should I get rid of my PlayStation 4 for PlayStation 4 Pro when the games basically are going to run the exact same and have the exact same content? That's not a next-gen system. So if you're not going to come out with a next-generation system, I just don't see the point in it being 4 times more powerful than an Xbox One, because you basically still... Think about it like this. The system may be able to do... I would rather them come out with an Xbox 2 or whatever they want to call it, a next-generation system that can do native 4K, that can run these games great, that can do this, that, and the other, rather than, hey, we got this powerful gaming machine, but it still does 900p. It still does 1080p. It just checkerboards it for a little bit better quality. No. I'm sorry. I would rather would have innovation from within. I'd rather you give me something new. I'd rather... You don't have to change the controller. Just make the games run better. And I guess that's just where I'm coming from as an old school gamer, is that... And I understand that console gaming, as we know, is essentially dead. I mean, we even kind of discussed this a little bit years ago, before these new consoles even came out. We were talking about how the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One were essentially going to be the end of console gaming. So it's very much possible that the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the Switch is it. And for the next 10 years, they're just going to come out with rehashes until technology gets to a point to where maybe they can justify it. But I'm also just starting to wonder if maybe the next system just needs to be a box. Just a box that comes out that just has the services. Because then that way companies can make a lot of money. See, there's been a lot of talks lately about whether or not Nintendo should just simply retire and do like Sega. And I'm probably going to do a separate video on this because I feel like it warrants more than just a couple of minutes of my time talking. But if that's true for Nintendo, then it should be true for all the other companies. Would it really benefit Microsoft to continue to invest millions of dollars into PR and marketing and factories and all this stuff to develop a system that essentially still plays Xbox One games and for backwards compatibility can play Xbox 360 games? Wouldn't it just be easier just to release all that onto the Xbox store and then just have people pay for access to that store, whether it's through their MacBook, their Windows-based computer, whether it's through anything? And that's the reason why I think that a box would work, because then if you have a box that comes out and on the same day we have 3 games that come out, I can download all 3, and rather than having to go back and forth between 3 different systems, they're all on one box. So I can actually play like Horizon Zero Dawn and Breath of the Wild at the same time. Not really at the same time, but you get what I'm saying. They're both available in the same box, and I can jump back and forth between them. That to me has more potential. And then you have companies that can focus more on coming out with their exclusive games, and third-party developers can come out with their exclusive games, and they don't have to worry about, we have to make this game work within the confines of this system, and within the confines of this system, and with the confines of PC. It's no longer bottlenecking. It can now be, we're going to make this game work, and you have the option within this box to run it how you want. Whether it's a low-end box, sort of like what they did with Steam machines, where it's a low-end box and a high-end box and all that stuff, or whether it's just a box that has universal settings that everyone knows what to do with. So Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, EA, Activision, Ubisoft, any developer you can name can work within those confines. And we get universal gaming across the board. Again, it's probably just me, but I don't know. There's a part of me that's tired of gaming. I've considered just giving up YouTube, talking about it, and just focus on playing the games that come out that I enjoy playing, because it doesn't really seem to be as passionate as what it once was. Nintendo, I'm sure, will restore that when the Switch comes out. This seems to happen every few years. I kind of get in this slump. But ultimately, I don't know. Gaming just isn't as exciting as what it once was, because when I see stuff like they're talking about the PlayStation 4 Pro, and it's just like, it's still the same games. It's not really anything that new. It's not really anything that different. The PS4 Pro is sort of the same way. Yeah, sure, it's got some exciting games that they announced at E3, and some great games that were announced at E3 from all the companies. But at the same time, when you're looking at it, it's just like, but really there isn't much of a jump between the 360 and the Xbox One. There isn't really much of a jump between the PS3 and the PS4. We've kind of plateaued. So, and there's nothing wrong with that, but if we're plateauing, then we shouldn't be coming out with system revisions. You should just continue to support the PlayStation 4 Pro, or the PlayStation 4, and not even worry about the PlayStation 4 Pro. At least in my book. I understand why it's there, but it also kind of feels like it's a waste of money, because you're asking for $400 for a system that I already have, play the exact same games that I already have, pretty much, with the exception of a few minor tweaks, pretty much identical. But hey, that's just me, guys. What do you think about this subject, this random rant, and anything you want me to talk about? Feel free to put it down in the comments below. I'm going to try and do a Retro Geek Week, more or less. I'm going to try and make a video every single day this week, just to see how that works out. And also, we're basically less than a month away, well, a little bit more than a month away, I should say, from the release of the Switch. Hopefully there's going to be some reveals of that too that I can talk about. But until next time, appreciate you watching. Have a good one. I'll see you next time.